integrity and courage, that through the labors of their work, students may be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life shall be realized in our midst. Amen. Honorable members, you are welcome to the first State of SRC address, the second section of the 9th Src Parliamentary Council. We thank God that we have been alive until now, and from our first sitting to today, some people could not leave until today. Popular among them is someone I admire so much in the international scene, and that is a Ghanaian artist, Ebony. I will ask that we observe a minute of silence for that. Thank you very much. May her soul rest in perfect peace. There's no time on our side, so I would want to start from the honorable member from Unity Hall. I would want to okay, very well. Straightforward. I think if the clerk is ready, Madam Clerk, you read the minute of the previous sitting, then we'll go ahead. You do it very quick for us, so we can move forward. After which we accept or reject it or make corrections to that effect. Then we'll start taking updates from our constituencies from the various MPs here in our mess. And I will start from honorable member from Unity Hall. Okay, clerk, you can.
Minutes of the first sitting of the second session of the 9th Src Parliamentary Council. Opening prayer was said by the Speaker at 2:40 p.m. The Speaker in his welcome address stated that members who came late to sittings will pay a penalty. He also informed the House that some members of the House would be traveling. He urged college presidents to write reports on their week celebrations and he welcomed members of the House. Honorable Judge Donko moved for the acceptance of the minutes, and Honorable Gada seconded. Debate on creation of new constituency at Eija. Honorable Jemfi wished members of the House a Happy New Year. He suggested that Eija should be added to Bomso constituency and Ahensan be added to campus. Honorable Safo seconded Honorable Jemfi. Honorable Donko agreed with Honorable Jemfi. Honorable Asafo suggested that polling stations should be made available there. Honorable Nobu suggested that there should be a criteria for creating constituencies, and MPs for non-residential areas should be provided with assistants, such as deputies and secretaries. Honorable Gada suggested that the future population there should be considered before such decisions are made. Debate on reinstating Women's Commissioner in Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker asked the Women's Commissioner to tell us why she thinks her office was taken out of Parliament. She stated that there was no particular reason. She also stated that she's supposed to be in Parliament because the SRC Constitution states that the Women's Commissioner is supposed to make sure that SRC policies are not inimical to the female students. And this is the house where policies are made, so she should be here to make sure decisions taken here are in favor of the female student. Honorable Gada asked the Women's Commissioner if the Constitution stated clearly that she should be in Parliament, and if she is a member of the Executive Council. She answered that the Constitution does not state exactly so, and that she is a member of the Executive Committee. Honorable Noble asked the Women's Commissioner if she does not believe that the female representatives in the House are fighting for women. The Women's Commissioner stated that members should go through the previous constitutions and see if her office is supposed to be a part of Parliament. She also stated that there are female leaders in Parliament, but there's still the need for the Women's Commissioner in Parliament. Honorable Badu suggested that if it is not stated in the Constitution that the Women's Commissioner should be a member of Parliament, then it should not be debated on, it should rather be advocated for. Honorable Badu also stated that since the Women's Commissioner didn't need to be a member of the House to present a bill, she doesn't need to be a member of the House to advocate for women. The Women's Commissioner stated that she is not aware of other bills that come before the House, so she needs to be here. Honorable Agbenyenu stated that she is a member of the Executive Council, and according to the principle of separation of powers, it is not possible for her to be a member of the House. Honorable Safo stated that she can always be a member of the gallery. Honorable Egbe apologized for coming late and stated that a member of his constituency was unwell. He emphasized on Honorable Safo's point and Honorable Agbenyenu's point. Honorable Sapon stated that she can't be a member of both the Executive and Legislative Councils. The Women's Commissioner asked if there was a particular kind of government our system is following. Right Honorable Speaker stated that our system of governance is more perfect than that of the National Parliament. Honorable Donko stated that no other reason should be accepted unless she brings a petition before the House. Honorable Egbe stated that he is not convinced about why the Women's Commissioner should be a member of the House, and Honorable Ajite suggested that the WUCOM should give more concrete reasons for us to make her a member of the House. Vote on the affirmative action bill. Honorable Agbenyenu suggested that the clerk should read the contents of the bill to the House. Honorable Gada stated that the SRC president should not be forced to appoint any females. Honorable Egbe suggested that women should be sensitized into participating in politics. He also thought it would be absurd to tie the SRC president down to appoint females. Honorable Badun stated that the bill is restraining the SRC president and that the definition for appointments in the bill should be reconsidered. He also suggested that students should be allowed to apply for positions. Honorable Sapon stated that Honorable Badun's statement implies that the National Parliament should also follow suit. Honorable Agbenyenu suggested that the WUCOM should encourage ladies to engage in politics instead of us committing ourselves to the bill. Honorable Asafo suggested that the 25% should be cut down. Honorable Sapon stated that if people are made to apply for their positions, the interest of the president will not be served. Honorable Jemfi stated that the president should not be restricted and that ladies should be encouraged instead. The bill should therefore not be accepted. Right Honorable Speaker asked the members to state their stance clearly. Either they are for the motion, against it, or think it should be modified. Honorable Jemfi suggested that subcommittees should be included in the definition for appointments. Honorable Badunhu suggested that the percentage should be made on the basis of ladies who make themselves available. The votes were as follows. Honorable Safo, modifications. Honorable Gada, the bill should be pushed aside. Honorable Agbenyenu, modifications. Honorable Jemfi, it should be pushed aside. Honorable Jechifosu, modifications. Honorable Beko, modifications. Honorable Badunhu, modifications. Honorable Egbe, modifications. Honorable Ajite accepts the bill. Honorable Asafo accepts the bill. Honorable Donko, modifications. Honorable Agu, modifications. Honorable Adaidia, modifications. Honorable Caleb is indifferent. Honorable Noble, modifications. Some of the suggested modifications are as follows. Honorable Egbe suggested 15%. Honorable Noble suggested 20%. Honorable Safo suggested that the 25% should include subcommittees, and Honorable Asafo suggested 20%. Votes on the modification. One person was for 15%, 7 people for 20%, 3 people for 25% with modifications in the definition of appointments, and 4 people were indifferent. Invitation of local Nooks treasurer for reading of his budget. Honorable Jechu Fosu expressed concerns with budget allocations for publicity. Honorable Becker asked for the value for the money released to them last semester. Honorable Badohu suggested that no money should be released to them until documents are produced concerning the previous budget. Honorable Agri pleaded with Right Honorable Speaker to provide some motivation for the Budget and Finance Committee. Honorable Jamefi suggested that measures should be put in place so that mistakes from previous programs will not be repeated. Honorable Jechi asked for clarity on the amounts for refreshments. Right Honorable Speaker referred the budget scrutiny to the Budget and Finance Committee. He also stated that their motivation is in the pipeline. Invitation of SRC Treasurer for reading of SRC budget. Before reading the budget, the Treasurer pleaded with the House to approve the budget as soon as possible so spending can commence. Honorable Jechi asked for clarity on the state of SRC money. Honorable Abuchi asked for clarity on the budget allocation for information desk and suggested that information be taken from the app to cut down costs. Honorable Baduhu suggested that a billboard be bought to reduce burden on the budget. The Treasurer stated that the billboard is in the pipeline and that the previous administration suggested it. Honorable Gada asked if the SRC is affected by the 34%. Honorable Nobu stated that 2,500 for citizens was too small. Honorable Agbenyenu asked if the budget was going to be accepted without value for the previous money. Right Honorable Speaker stated that the state of SRC addresses an avenue for honorable members to know the values for their money. They are given the opportunity to ask the President what the money released to them has been used for so far. Honorable Nobu suggested that they should be allowed to take the budget home to scrutinize it well so they can ask the SRC President their questions. Right Honorable Speaker stated that they would be allowed to take the budget home, but they should be very careful with it. Invitation of the Privileges Committee Chair to present reports on their sitting. The Privileges Committee Chair stated that he had no reports to present since their sitting did not come on due to reasons beyond his control. He also stated that he was unhappy with the way Right Honorable Speaker treated some members of the House and asked that he should accord more respect to members of the House. He also stated that he disagrees with Right Honorable Speaker that his committee did not do a good job. Vote on SRC Leaders Orientation Bill. Right Honorable Speaker stated that the issue of making local news a populist election was rejected. Honorable Igwe suggested that with respect to the bill, the Electoral Commissioner should work hand in hand with the college presidents. Honorable Agri suggested that the source of funds for the orientation should be from the sales of nomination forms. Honorable Egbe stated that money for the sales of the nomination forms goes into the Electoral Commission's coffers, so it's the same thing. Honorable Gada asked for clarity on form money for halls. Any other business? Honorable Becker asked for accounts on monies for the Nooks Congress. Honorable Nobu suggested that first-hand information be given to members of the House. Right Honorable Speaker stated that information isn't shared because of lack of discretion. Honorable Badohu expressed concerns on the 34% issue and stated that he has confirmed that the deductions go on in only KNUST and he needs some feedback. Honorable Agbenyenu stated that their houses are on fire, so the SRC should speak for them. Closing prayer was said at 7:22 p.m. End of minutes.
Please, any correction? If there's no correction, can someone move for the acceptance of the minute of the previous sitting? Possibly a seconder. That is in the absence of corrections.
In the absence of any correction, I, Kukwa Texan, move for the acceptance of the minutes.
Okay, any seconder?
headed by Jechi Fosu Sambo.
Okay. We can move on then. Okay. Let me take concerns from honorable members from your constituencies. We start with Honorable George.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The House. Currently, Unity Hall is very calm. We had our JCR General Assembly meeting last 2 weeks. There was so many concerns, but then it all boils on the decision to change Unity Hall into Mexex Hall. Members of the JCR are so not happy. A lot of concerns they are raising. They are even speaking to the extent that student leaders are not in the interest of students. They are not working personally in the interest of students. Specifically, sorry. Sure, so currently that is going on in Unity Hall. Thank you.
Honorable from Africa Hall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Africa Hall Assistance now is just had their dormant launch that was last night, and it was that successful. But at the end of the day, everything is fine and ongoing in Africa Hall, except with some 1 or 2 issues of water shortage in the hall, which is being dealt with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. College of Humanities and Social Sciences is doing well. We recently had a college games and health screening, and it's recorded the highest number of participants in the history of the college, and I think we are proud of that. But aside that, we are doing fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Dennis.
Thank you very much, the House. I'm thankful that you are all doing well. I think my secretary has said it all. Thank you.
Honorable Prof.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, the House. I believe the General Secretary of Unity Hall has actually touched on some of the things within. I also want you to know that it is of great concern to the students of Unity Hall why the whole election should be pending. That is one. And also, they were not that happy with a particular clause within the instruction given that has to do with SLC, an event where a portfolio is vacant. Let me say, if no one comes to pick a form, an appointment will have to be done with respect to the VC Dean, the JCLC president of the 6th traditional hall and that, as well as the college president, which they find it a bit strange because they don't know when authorities are not showing so much interest in terms of student politics. Thank you.
Honorable Parker.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the House. Very good afternoon to all of us. With greatest humility, I can say my constituency members are doing well. Probably just myself, I'm not too good, but I'll try as much as possible to. I just want the House to know that we are working for the cause of students, not for allowance, whether it comes or not. We are 7 students. Allowance should just be an incentive on the other side. But, Mr. Speaker, if you give me the opportunity to state certain things that, as a honorable member, I'm not too pleased with, if you give me the go-ahead, I would continue. Before we, I believe it's very necessary before the proceedings continue. So if after honorable members talk about the constituency, you give me the opportunity to highlight some of these issues, I'll be very much grateful.
Very well, but it's about what?
Come again.
I'll come back to you.
Thank you very much.
Honorable David.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May you live long. I believe my constituency members are actually doing well, but just that, as I speak right now, we are in a state of melancholy, where we don't actually know what is going in and what is going out. But I believe that as time goes on, things should be in order for my home members. One of the problems they are actually talking about is the Wi-Fi aspect, which up to now, no solutions has been given to that. And it's actually giving us, with executives, a headache in the hole. So I think that's some of the few problems that we are facing. And I believe as time goes on, things to try to be in order for them. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House. My constituency is doing fine, thank you. But they've raised issues about more shuttles coming to that side, because some of the shuttles are not really coming. Most of them that are coming, they're still taking money, and they said I should voice it out to the House. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Rodney.
Thank you very much. Apart from the pandemonium which went on in the parliamentary group, I mean, they have
Honorable, relax. Honorable,
yeah.
relax. We are not, Honorable, listen. We will not discuss matters in Parliament group. This is a state of SRC address. Okay. We are not discussing matters on WhatsApp group on the floor of Parliament, please. Thank you.
Very sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, apart from that, I think everything is fine. The only complaints have been the Wi-Fi, which we are still waiting for, so then, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kukua Texan, Lois.
I bring you greetings from Kanasa. Yesterday, we happened to have our first Senate meeting. We had problems on our elections, but then I think it's been resolved now. So Kanasa is doing fine.
What were the problems and how did you resolve them?
The EC opened nominations on Friday. Then he expected the aspirants to return it on Monday. So we pleaded for an extension, in the duration of time. So it's okay now. It's too short, but then it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Jonathan. Honorable Jonathan, just press it when it will come.
Mr. Speaker of the House, good afternoon to everyone. The state of Queen's Hall, Queen Elizabeth II Hall is faring so well, and my president just highlighted on a few problems, which is the Wi-Fi. Most of them are beating us in the hall because of the Wi-Fi, because we were promised that it will be fixed by our Src president before we could come to school this semester, and that was what we relayed to them, and they are chasing us up to fulfill the promises, whether from our pockets or from any source. So please, I'm begging you, help us with that. Aside that, I'm so worried about the access control. I don't know whether Queen's Hall has a different rule or a different, I don't know, but it looks like the security guards there are so harsh on us. In fact, when you're going there and then someone opens with someone's card for you, it becomes problematic. Even though it's wrong, the way they would interact with you, I think it's not the best. And I believe there should be more education on the access control, because even though it's reducing, there are still problems in the system. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Mawuli.
Mr. Speaker, may you live long.
Thank you.
Well, Mongols are doing very well. I think so far so good. Before we came into office, or before myself and the other executives were sworn in as JCRC members. There were quite a number of problems that people used to face in the hall. And I'm glad to say that as it stands now, every room in Republic Hall can boast of a chair. All the beds in our, our rooms have also been changed from wooden to metallic beds. We're also working on getting some seats for our TV room that has not been there for some time now. And we've also worked on getting some concrete slabs for our residents so that they can have some comfort when washing their dirty clothing. And I think so far so good. We've been very progressive. But then one other thing is regarding the 34%. As it stands now, we are not able to make some number of progress that we wanted to do because we've been financially crippled. And we are hoping that these monies will be, sent back to us as soon as possible. Else, we wouldn't be able to have a very good tenure of office. Thank you very much. Aside that, we are doing very fine.
Thank you. Honorable member from University Hall.
Thank you, Right Honorable. May you live long.
Thank you.
The House. Right Honorable, the people of my constituency are not doing well at all. I might say that students of my constituency are complaining a lot. For instance, based on the numerous decisions that are going on in these schools, that it looks as if things are just being imposed on us. And moreover, Honorable, it's so pathetic that even during Friday, our normal morale that we do, we see that students even couldn't partake in it that much. That only few students that were able to partake in the usual morale, which I think they used to release stress and other things. So I think there is so much things in my halls, and I don't know, we are trying to find a way of releasing tensions in the hall and see the way forward. But notwithstanding, we have a blood donation which is coming up this Wednesday. It's a way of just showing our love to society on this vast day. So I'm inviting honorable members to come and donate their blood just to save a life. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
The Speaker of the House, it's an honor to be here to talk about GISA. GISA started the year right. We had our second extraordinary council meeting, which really went well. People are seeing the need to be part of GISA and work everything out. Again, we took time off our book schedule to have a GISA games yesterday, and it was very successful. The numbers that were there was really impressive, and I can say that mechanical engineering always shows that they are the bosses of engineering, and they did very, very well. Again, this year we are looking at a number of interventions. One of them is procuring 200 computers for our students to help them the study of softwares like AutoCAD, MATLAB, so that even if you don't have a computer, you can just walk into the IT room, sit down, and then work on AutoCAD. So generally, we feel that things are working well in GISA. God has taken us far, and He will end with us, since the election has already started yet. So I think so far, so good.
Okay, thank you. Honorable from GISA 2.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable. Good afternoon, the House. Okay, so like my president just said, GISA is doing very well. Yesterday we had successful games, and then as well, certain areas are in construction in the College of Engineering. Yeah, we want to get to a point where when you enter the College of Engineering, you'll be forced to sit down and learn. Yes, so far we are doing very well. There's a series of activities coming this semester, and worthy of note is the socializing, and we invite all of you somewhere early March. So thank you very much. And yes, the GISA dinner as well, but that's later in the semester. So thank you very much for the platform to speak.
Okay. Honorable Yao Opong, Src President.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. As an our College of Science is also doing very well.
We had our bursary applications not long ago, and then this Saturday we'll be having our socializing. So I would like to use this opportunity to actually invite each and every parliamentarian to be present at the KNSC pool side on Saturday. There are a lot of activities that are going to happen, so please, you are all invited. Thank you very much.
Okay. Honorable member from University.
All right, Honorable, thank you very much. I think apart from my fellow Katangis who have to move from the halls to Brunei to board the shuttle to their various faculties, and also the temporal ban on morale, the guys are doing well. Everything is going well. Yeah. And aside that, as I sit here, I'm on a loan, so I'm just waiting for the allowance to drop so that I can.
Okay, Honorable, thank you.
That's everything as well. Thank you very much.
Your
May you live long.
Thank you. Your president is saying your people are not doing well. You are also saying they are doing well, but there are some few kind of distant. But well, God is there. All right. I think that in our first sitting, we debated on the affirmative action bill, and Honorable Parker, I will come to you. We debated on the affirmative action bill, and we felt that majority of you thought that it was not appropriate to get rid of it totally, and that it should be subjected to some modification. We did that. We asked that we should suggest what modifications are there that ought to be effected into the bill, and honorable members respectfully brought up those suggestions on how we're going to make it a better, bill, and maybe subsequently an act. And we task the clerk to go and work on it. The first on our item was to have taken some updates from the Electoral Commissioner, since this semester is election issues and all those things, and we needed to hear from him preparation towards the elections. The Electoral Commissioner is not yet in. We've not had any excuse from anyone, so we are hoping that all of them will be here. And so we would jump the first item and land on the approval of the affirmative action bill. And so I would humbly ask that Honorable Parker.
Thank you, Vice Honorable. The House, as I rightly stated, I just want you to take this opportunity to issue out some concerns before the sitting progress.
Oh no, member, I said I'll get back to you.
It looks like the sitting is moving forward.
I thought I'm on the chair and I'm making a point. It isn't that you disagree with me, but you felt I have forgotten of you. I have not done that.
I don't feel, right, Honorable, with all due respect, I don't feel you have forgotten, but I feel like the meeting is making progress, and then probably with
don't worry,
whatever.
I said I'll get to you, so don't worry. You have no problem.
Respectfully.
I'll get back to you at the appropriate time. Yes, so I would like that we kind of look at the final thing that the clerk has presented to us. Then if it is exactly what we ask him to go and do, then we'll move forward to vote on it or accept it. So with your permission, I would like to invite the clerk to come and read it to us. To come and read the and please can the marshal, can you allow them project it for their perusal? I'm sure it will come on the screens so that we can also, can we project it for our perusal? Honorable Parker, let me take your concerns now whilst we wait on them. Honorable Parker, I want to take your concerns now.
All right, thank you very much, Vice Honorable. With greatest humility, taking what was discussed at our previous sitting, Right Honorable, you made it clear to honorable members that you will try as much as possible to make or present to the House copies of the minutes. I think this has been a concern from honorable members for about on 3 occasions, and then you promised at our last sitting that at our next sitting you would make copies of the minutes available to honorable members, but it's quite unfortunate that this promise didn't come to pass today.
Okay, let me address that one first so that you move forward. I think this one fair. It's true, I did said that we would like to apologize for that. There's no money in the SRC account. The setting we are having today is everything we are using, every facility is on credit, and so we are yet to, come to terms with, in code, the money handlers, so that if, for instance, resources were available, we'll get those things printed, then we can have them. We deeply regret for that, and we hope that it doesn't reoccur. But after this sitting, anyone that is still wants to have a copy of the minute, just get to the clerk after the sitting. We might not get it for you today, but we'll still get it for you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Vice Honorable. But with regards to that, I would like to come again that once this sitting is on credit, I believe that honorable members getting a copy of the minutes could as well be on credit. And then I don't think that we should, as honorable members, personally want a copy of the minutes and move to the clerk and ask for it before it is given to us. This promise was made in the House that we should receive it, not that if you want and then you go for it voluntarily. So, Right Honorable, I just hope that moving forward, there shouldn't be a case that if an honorable wants the minutes, that's when he should go for it. I think it should be given to us. On the second issue, which also is dear to my heart, is with regards to making available the standing orders to members of parliament. It looks as if honorable members are seated here. This is a house of law and, let me say, documents, and then honorable members are seated here, and then majority of us are not abreast with the standing orders, probably not because we have not seen it before, but we don't even have it as we are seated here to debate about issues. It only looks as if probably it's the leader of the House or this council that only has it. And so even if members are going on the wrong track, how would they know? In the end, it looks like we are debating on a blind side when we could have had the standing orders. So the basis of it is that if it is not too far, I believe that before the meeting proceeds, just as it was done at our first sitting of this council, if members of the House could be served a copy of the copies of the standing orders in order to make our debates that we are going to have here very harmonious. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
On that, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But I quite remember in my first ever sitting as speaker, I said the hard copies were not many. I think they were about 5, 4. Myself, my own exclusive, so let's say around 6, and that there were a lot of issues with the standing orders, and it's subject to amendment. And we are hoping that when the final decision is in place, we get copies printed. But I did remember sending a soft copy of the standing orders on our page. And so for the meantime, I agree with you totally, but I will want us to manage with the soft copies. If we don't have them on our phone, we can get it on the page again. So as and when we are done, putting this is also an avenue for us to suggest, especially those of us who have read the standing orders, if there's anything we need, any input we need to make, so that we get a comprehensive one, get them printed and all that. Because people keep giving excuses relating to financial matters, I wouldn't want to promise that in our next sitting, the standing orders is going to be available for all of you. But let's hope so. Thank you.
Right, Honorable.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Park.
Right, Honorable, more than.
Okay, you continue.
Okay. With the greatest respect and humility, I just wish that this issue that I'm about to bring up, if it could be held in an in-camera sitting, I would be much grateful.
If
this issue, this motion I want to table across, I just wish that would be held in camera. If you still wish that we could have this, I could proceed with members of the gallery around. I don't have a problem.
Which motion?
Come again.
Which motion?
Okay.
Which motion is that?
It basically has to do with what one honorable member has raised, and then
Honorable.
and then you.
Honorable, I'm coming.
Okay.
Motions are not tabled like the way you are coming to do it.
Okay.
Honorable. With all due respect.
Okay.
So when we do that, it appears you are taking the whole house to something that is quite strange.
Okay.
That's why we have an order paper before everything.
Okay.
And that's why I encourage that anything in your mind, even on the page, when you can put it into writing, we air out those concerns so we can get them addressed even before the sitting.
Then I would have to rephrase my sentence with greatest respect.
Okay.
That as an honorable member, with the greatest humility once again, taking into considerations the current happenings on our Parliamentary Council page, I believe that some members of Parliament, both the leadership and then some honorable members, are not worthy to sit amongst us and then continue this session, particularly the clerk. With all greatest respect, I believe that the clerk is not worthy to sit in this parliamentary session. That is what I have to say to you, Right Honorable.
Okay, thank you. Honorable, these are matters that, like again, I said, this. I'm sure you are talking about what happened on the page. That was a WhatsApp page. Is that not the case? Honorable, I'm coming. Let me make a point. You are talking about what happened on the WhatsApp page. Is that not it? With all due respect, I would want to use your own statement by saying this house is a serious house. We deal with laws, orders, and all those things. You understand? And then it means at the end of the day, you're going to be catching people who have made derogatory comments even on pages. I think this one, that is why we are members, and it is within our confines. It appears we are now coming to discuss matters that has happened on the page, the extent to which it can go, even if you want to look at it on the page. The highest extent it could go is to have been on a privileged committee level, which is within us. I can't appreciate it when you want to table it before the house and probably want to suggest something that we have already taken some punitive measures and will not probably wait for that to be exhausted and all those things. You get it. I wouldn't want a very long debate on it.
Right Honorable, I don't intend to debate, but if you allow me.
Please. When I give you the opportunity to speak, then you do so, please. Thank you very much. The electoral commissioner is in our mess.
So, Right Honorable, so
please,
is it that the matter we are discussing is over? Because it seems you are moving on. So I want to know if the matter is over, then I know that there's
if
no
you want your consent to
issue
address it properly in the motion form, then we can debate it.
Right Honorable, with all greatest respect, this motion or whatever it is that I'm saying is based on precedents. Michael Abila's case was something that happened on a WhatsApp platform. Morgan, who was a former clerk, was something that even didn't also happen on the WhatsApp platform and then even outside Parliament. But we took steps to do that. So, Right Honorable, I trust in your leadership, Right Honorable, and then with all greatest respect, just as you are saying, we have not exhausted all punitive measures. But if, as a leader, you have given a rule, and then even if that ruling hasn't been followed, then I don't believe that that person or that particular honorable member does not respect your ruling, and so Therefore, that person is not worthy to sit amongst us. I trust in your leadership, Right Honorable.
Honorable Parker, it is within my distance to determine whether, please, and even if we will have, my point is that you seem not to get my point. I'm just trying to tell you that the state of SRC is not a platform. The state of SRC is not a platform for that. In the cases of all those things you have mentioned, we do not want to do any excavation here with regard to history and all those things. We don't want to resort to history and all that. But my point is that this is not just the platform. We can have that deliberation as to what we think about, unless you want to say that to paint a picture would appear to be like you already have some concerns even on the page, that you feel that when you address it on the page, your concerns will not be registered, and that the only platform to do that when you people, probably aside parliamentarians, can witness that someone is not being fair or someone is not really doing what ABCD and all those things, then I don't get it. So that's what I'm saying. Don't paint a picture as if whether my ruling you think was fair or my ruling was not fair. I'm only telling you that this is not a platform for that, and that it was not an issue that has been tabled. In fact, the highest thing someone has said on that platform, I didn't want to go ahead to talk about those things on the platform, was that those people or that person should be subjected to the privileges committee. And even if that was going to be heeded to, you understand, which I took a different punitive measure, but if that was going to be heeded to, yes, still it's not something, a matter that is supposed to be debated on the floor of parliament. That has been my concern. Unless we want to adapt strange procedures, I will not be a steward. Honorable Parker, this is the last time. Until I give you an opportunity to talk, please don't on your mic and talk, please.
Right, Honorable, I'm putting my mic on, but I'm not talking.
Okay,
so
thank you very much.
Surprised.
So those are the things I'm talking about. So let's. I know I equally also believe in your honorability. You get it, and just as you believe in my leadership, we can talk about it at a very. But I can understand the euphoria. Honorable, you are raising your hand in parliament. We don't raise hands.
Then, right, Honorable, what should I do if I want to talk? I want to get it clear.
Well, if you want to suggest something, Honorable, you can file a motion. That is if you want it to be debated on the floor of parliament. But if you don't want it to be debated on the floor of parliament, you think that the punitive measure given to that officer is not supposed to be done. We cannot orally come to the floor of parliament and say it when you were supposed to have addressed that issue too on our page.
Right, so I'm
So
just
exactly,
asking if I want to talk, what do I do? Do I raise my hand?
No, don't raise your hand.
I should put on
When my eye catches you.
But right, how would your eye catching you
when my
if
eye
the
catches
person
you,
wants to speak?
and the issue of my eye catching you determines on me, falls on me, I determines that. You understand? Thank you very much for your humility too. His Excellency Mr. Derek, the local news president, Mr. President, it's been a while. It's here in our midst, and we are happy that you are in. Mr. Electoral Commissioner is also here in our midst, and the deputy in charge of non-resident is also here in our midst. Is also here in our midst. We acknowledge your presence very well, and yes. Take this call. Okay. The electoral commissioner is here, so I would want us to follow the order paper. For some time, we've not been following the order paper, and it's been giving us quite some few problems. Can the honorable electoral commissioner take the stage and give us updates from his office? comes in, if the matter that happened on the page is something that you want us to prosecute, it might be said that when it is tabled on the floor of Parliament, the person hearing referred to must be given an opportunity to also air out his concern. The person must be given the opportunity to also be heard. Especially, but the reason why I'm not allowing it is because I have already taken a punitive measure on the page. You understand? Yes, I get it, I get it. Your point is that he has not, if for instance, I'm saying those two people should apologize on the page, I have not given them time frame. Probably if I had given them, yes. Honorable Jonathan, you are a part of them. Have you also done that? No, I'm not asking you to say. I just want a yes or no answer.
Mr. Speaker, in fact,
no, I'm not saying defend it or
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
You have not seen it.
Yes,
thank you very much. But others have seen it on the page. I get now. So when he also probably, if he's also given the opportunity and he says he has not seen it, I get now. In fact, he did send something for me privately to be before he forwarded, and I asked that it was not proper and that he should put it in a proper context because we're not going to accept a political apology and that he should put it in a proper context. I think some of those things were things that are matters that happened yesterday and all those. I do not want it to take our time. We have a lot of things. Please, I've not asked you to talk. We have a lot of things to discuss today, and so please, let's deal with the substantive issue at the appropriate time. What we think is right will have to be done. Thank you very much. Electoral Commissioner.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Derry. Good afternoon, the House. Thank you for this opportunity given to me.
Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable, I feel that it's rather sad that you're not heeding to our voice.
Please, Honorable Elon, please.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Elon, please.
It's very sad, Mr. Speaker, and I want us to address this issue because it is on this basis that we can move on as a house. Because if this issue is not addressed properly.
Honorable Elon, please. Can you off your mic, please? Easy.
Mr. Speaker,
continue.
Because if this issue is not addressed properly, it still deems the house as ineffective, as a house that has no order, as a house that is ready to boycott this particular sitting, and as a house that doesn't want to do with whatever happened on the page. We are not ready to continue with this particular one. I believe.
See, what you are rather doing is even more scandalous to the house than what you pretend that someone has done. And so even if there was anything to go by, it means a measure of that even more than that should have been applied to you.
Mr.
It's even assumed that because in this particular floor, please, I'm making a point. On the floor of Parliament, the house that you think is not effective is making you productive in some sector that you don't even know. A house that you think that is not effective is putting certain things available to you that you didn't anticipate. So when we are making certain comments, let's be very careful.
Mr. Speaker,
listen, you can have your objection. You are a member of Parliament. I do not want to use certain words, but you are a member of Parliament and you know what ought to be done right. This issue that we are discussing here was not something that falls from the earth. It's something that we had prior knowledge about, and we could have done the right thing if we wanted it to be debated on the floor of Parliament. That has been the point I'm raising. And it appears someone wants to paint a picture as if someone is not being fair. And if you think someone is not, please, Honorable, I'm talking, and you are also talking. So who is talking? I think when I give you the opportunity to talk, I don't do so. Please, with all due respect, Honorable EC.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable EC. Continue.
All right. Thank you, Right Honorable. Okay, so the electoral processes started and the timetables are out, well-spelled rules and regulations are out. Yeah. And just yesterday we had a well-structured and organized symposium where the UITS came to spell out some rules and
Oh, easy, continue.
All right. So yesterday we had a well-structured and well-organized symposium where the UITS personnel came around to assure us for a credible election this year. And the legal affairs of the SRC also came to spell out some rules and regulations. And yeah, there were some questions and they were answered. Then symposium ended. Okay, so the Electoral Commission has brought out some new initiative in this year's election. So we go to the SRC. With the SRC election, I think this year the new measures that we have in place is to declare all results at a particular polling station. So let's say College of Engineering, when we're having election there, or SRC election at College of Engineering, we declare College of Engineering results at that particular polling station. Okay, then another measure is with the non-residential elections. I think over the years with the non-residential election, students have been complaining that they have to change their constituency or their residence on their portal before they can vote for a particular candidate. This year what we're trying to do is immediately you are being verified on the screen. It appears different constituencies. So you select the one you want to vote for. After that, the system locks, you can't vote for any constituency again. Okay, so, all right. So I think that's all for the commission this year.
Okay. The Electoral Commissioner has outlined as, please, I will not be in a position to respond to anything that has to do with Electoral Commissioner on WhatsApp page. Even on the Parliament page, I won't do that after this gentleman is off from the standpoint. And any officer that comes to this place, from today onwards, I am not going to play any role of an executive by answering questions. And I will not this time around be in a position to answer questions on behalf of anybody on the WhatsApp page. So please, when the officer is here, ask every question you need to ask. I am from today onwards going to play my legislative duties. I won't cross. When you ask me questions about EC, I won't say it on the page. When you ask me questions about allowances, I will tell you what I've also heard, but I will not. Yes, because someone who is our boss ought to also give us, and so what he tells me is what I'm also going to plant on the page. When there are matters concerning local news on the page, I won't also utter a word because Mr. President is also here. And so this is the opportunity for us to resolve those things. Mr. Honorable David Elikem.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, very long.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I think this issue is trying to be more and more in this platform, but I believe as a leadership, I think there should be another motive way that you can handle this issue.
No, it's quite unfortunate that we are planting sentimentalism on the floor of Parliament when we have substantial issues that we ought to even debate about. That has been my point. In this floor of Parliament, no one had argued or no one had erected a point to suggest that something that someone felt is not fair ought not to be deliberated on. We are only saying and asking yourself with all genuinity, with all truthfulness and humility, that the State of SRC address is the platform for us to address things on a WhatsApp platform. WhatsApp platform where honorable members are present, they are not common students. Then someone compares something that happened on a WhatsApp platform, on a public WhatsApp platform, to matters that has taken place on honorable members' platform. I mean, are you getting the lines I'm drawing here? So no one is saying that you are not going to be given a fair opportunity to digest, elucidate, or elaborate on your point that you felt have not been heeded to. That is not the point we are raising. I've made myself very clear enough, and so let's address the substantive issue. The electoral commissioner has ended, okay? So let's look at that. What is submission that he has given? So if there's any question for the electoral commissioner, you go ahead and do that. Okay, David.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, what actually I want to say is that with you saying that if maybe any questions to be given to you, they get on the platform where you have to maybe give us a clear understanding, or you're not be able to touch on that. That's what I actually want you to take back, so that in any case you are still the speaker of this house.
Yeah. I'm saying that when those officers are here, I think this is the best platform for us to engage them. You get it?
Yeah,
So
sure, but maybe time could not be given one to maybe tackle all the questions that we might ask
you
them.
have all the time. Now.
So, Mr. Speaker,
So
I still want you to take that way so that we can move on.
I hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Hannah.
Okay, Mr. Electoral Commissioner, I want to know, do you determine the price of forms at all levels from SRC to department, or you only determine what happens at the SRC level? Thank you.
I determine the prices for both colleges, halls, faculties, and departments, the SRC and the non-residential elections.
You, please, follow up. You determine it alone or in consultation with?
Consultation with the colleges, EC, and
So, would you mind telling us if you have arrived at any form fee for the forms? Because I know some colleges have already opened and closed nomination forms. And the criteria you use to determine the amounts. Thank you.
It isn't that he wouldn't mind. He has to tell us. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Anna Santi. Yes. This year, I plan on maintaining the fees. I think one of the SEC service, Dean of Students, made mention of reducing the fees. But then, there are so many things that goes into the processes. Aside the having a budget for that. Yes, I made up my mind to maintain the fees. But then, since it was an order from Dean of Students, and in consultation with the ECs, they wanted to play fair cards, so we reduced it. Not a huge amount, but something small.
Yeah, we are waiting for you to tell us.
The amount?
I remember buying my form as a general secretary for cause for 250 cedis.
Oh,
so
okay.
if there is anything not less than 250, then I don't think you've reduced. So you have to tell us how much you've reduced.
All right. With the hall and the college elections, it ranges from 300 downwards. With the faculty elections, with the faculty portfolio. Okay. I didn't give them. I just gave them. Let me see. I just give them a maximum amount they can go. So with the college election, you can't go more than 300 cities. With the faculty, you can't go more than 200 cities, and with the department, you can't go more than 100 cities.
Which does that mean that both all of them are paying the same amount? Let's say if you are a college EC and you want to sell all your funds for 300 cities, you're allowed.
No.
That is for president, secretary, organer.
No. You can't sell all portfolios the same amount.
Oh, okay. So what's the minimum? The maximum is 300. What's the minimum?
That one is at the own discretion of the EC to do that.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
And Asante. Honorable Yawapong.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Mr. ICP, so I'll need some clarification on the whole elections.
Okay.
As I know, I still on standby. Thank you.
Okay. With the whole elections, I met with the dean and he told me to pen it. But then he was going for a meeting. I couldn't ask him the reason why he told me to pen it. I think I traveled and I came back last week Thursday. The dean of students also traveled. So I'm here to ask him why it's being pended. But then, in talks with my SRC president, he said it's most likely that we're going to have the whole elections.
Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. AC, if you can elaborate more on the whole election, you will, like the SRC president is saying that it's more likely they will hold the whole election. So we want to know if it will actually come off or not. Because by the new timetable, whole elections to start somewhere around just after mid-semester or so, something of that sort. So we want to be abreast with what was going on before.
Okay, previously, the date we gave for the whole election was 5th to 9th. 5th to 9th March before the midterm. I think the academic calendar has been changed, but then it was the midterm. Previous academic calendar was from 12th March to 16th. By length it has been changed. But then we gave a date for the whole elections. And as I said, Dean of Students told me to pen it, but I haven't asked him why, because he was going for a meeting that day. And then I traveled. I came back on Friday. He also traveled and he came back on Friday in the evening. And I spoke to David, and David was like, it's most likely that we're going to have the whole elections.
You see, I think you are the electoral commissioner. Yeah. If the dean of students said you should hold on to the whole election, you should get more reason to that before you even put it on the timetable.
Exactly. Like I said, he went for a meeting. He told me, he called me on the phone.
But you've prepared the timetable before the meeting.
What?
The timetable came out before the meeting was said.
No. After the meeting, then the timetable came out.
So as you stand now, you don't know the reason why the whole week, the whole election have to be.
Like I said, I traveled and I came on Friday. And he also traveled and he came on Saturday, on Friday in the evening. I haven't seen him. I'm here to meet him tomorrow.
Okay, then I have one question for you. There's this month. Okay.
Please, if you want to address an issue, put it point by point. When I give you an opportunity and you develop a point, I wouldn't tolerate a communication between a member of parliament and that way it doesn't, it's not in order, please. Okay. So when you have a point, if it is 1, 2, 3, make sure you exhaust all the duty of the person is to note down those things, not that there should be that kind of communication between you and the person standing here.
Thank you, right Honorable. Thank you.
You can continue.
Okay, there are rumors that even our SRC electoral commissioner does not even organize the election by himself. It's the dean of students that organize the election for the students. So I want to know how true is that statement and whether the dean of students interfere in student elections or he doesn't. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you can off your mic, Master Asa.
The Electoral Commission is an independent body, yes. But then, with the help of the Dean of Students, not that he organized the elections for us, but with the help of the Dean of Students, we do organize our elections, despite you being an independent body.
Okay.
I would like to know what kind of help that the students don't have to render to the electoral commission.
Monetary affairs.
Monetary. So that's the only aspect that it is. Please. What about?
Honorable, just take your points, take your time, okay? One by one, if it is even 10, and I give you the opportunity to address 10, just do that so that you address them. When you are not satisfied, then you can bring a backup. I get what I'm talking about. Otherwise, the debate wouldn't be very nice in the house. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I will give you the last opportunity.
Okay. Okay. The reason I'm beginning to believe the statement is that for the Dean of State to tell you that they should put a hold to the whole election, you also do that. It means that the Dean of State actually have a say in our elections and other stuff. So with you saying that it's only in finance that the Dean of Students comes into election, I'll take your word for that. And also I want to know if it doesn't also interfere in the day of the elections and the time that we organize and other stuff. And Mr. Speaker, give me the last answer to this question. And also the issue about SRC election not being held in the halls. I want to know how far with that issue. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you see, Karis.
Alright, with the issue of with the dean of students, I think he made mention that the VC, he had a directive from the VC that I should pen the whole elections. But then we weren't, the timetable wasn't out. You get me? Yeah. So I'm here to ask or seek for reasons why he was saying that. Like I said, I traveled and I came back. My deputies can't do that. Not that they can't do that, but they can't do that in some way. They can't go to his office and ask him that question because he was the one, I was the one he spoke to. So I'm here to ask him why he told me to pen the elections. And with voting in the halls, I think it started last year. And I think the thing is that we use some logistics in voting. That's the laptops. Good. We have these two main halls, Kunti, Unity Hall, and University Hall. We know the way these guys behave. We procure these laptops. We do not buy them. We hide them. And there are terms on I'm saying this for my own way. I'm not saying according to the dean of students.
I will take you down. But I think that when they are pressing someone, pushing someone too much to the wall, and some of these things are coming. Okay, honorable, you continue.
All right. So we procure or we hide these laptops, and we bring it to the halls for these elections. You know, when it comes to SRC elections, all these halls have their candidate that they choose. And when it's time for us to close the elections and they do not agree, they try to destroy some stuff. And if they destroy these laptops, the hall master is not going to pay. The dean of students is also not going to pay for it. It's the electoral commissioner that they are going to hold him accountable. That's for my own way. Yes. So you are not voting in the hall again.
Thank you. Honorable Mawuli.
All right, Right Honorable, may you live long and may your reign be, more powerful as time approaches infinity.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Mr. Easy, please, what you are saying, do you have any evidence to back it? That's number one. Now, number two, I believe that at the end of the day, we are trying to mimic anything that is being done at the national level. And I normally have my vote in the New Driving constituency. And I don't think there would be any instance where they will say because there are no maybe devices or whatsoever, we should go and vote in another constituency and select our MP or whoever it is at that point. And I don't think it is proper. If we really want to mimic what is done at the national level, I believe in that one insurance company's policy. If it must be done, it must be done well. So any means possible, we have to make sure that we do the right thing. Now, the third question is, last year there were issues about, school authorities interfering in students' politics, as in making sure that some of the candidates that they don't want them to win certain portfolios, or how let's say, the IT system or whatever system it is that has been put in place is not very effective at their end. What measures have you put in place to make sure that this time around all constituency experience some proper, form of election and elections go on there smoothly, so that we wouldn't have any issue like this place elections have halted for about 2 hours and it's not the same issue at other places. I think things like that must not continue to happen. So I'd want to know the measures that you've put in place to make sure that things like that don't continue. Thank you.
All right, please can you say the first question again?
The first question? Yeah,
it
it was about evidence that some of these laptops and whatsoever that you need to make the election successful, the boys or the men, let me see, at the Unity Hall and the University Hall destroy them and all that. Is there any evidence to back that? That was the first question.
All right, I'll start with the last question. Like I said, yesterday we had a symposium and the UITS assured us, actually they set up and assured us that we're going to have a credible election. I think some of the aspirants were there, some of the electorates were there, and they could testify that everything is going on well. The director himself has assured us that we're going to have a credible election. But then what happened last year was that I think with a strong room, there was power out, and I think the whole place, because there is that's the main source that we keep all the we collate all the results there. I think that place became hot, and they had to shut down everything to run the system again after 2 hours. That's why we had those problems. But then we're not going to have this problem this year again. All right. So with the first question, that's the evidence. I think when I was in first year, I went to Unity Hall to go and see how election is being held there. But then when I went there, some of the guys were very rowdy. They were preventing people from voting, and they were doing all sorts of things. And I think that's my evidence. When I was in first year, that was what I saw. Yes. So with the second question. Excuse me. I'm coming with the first second. The second question. Honorable, with your second question, does it have to do with the measures, or if you can say it again?
All right. I was talking about interference of school authorities, you know, in the students' politics, because it has been rumored, uncountable times that the dean of students especially has influence in whoever becomes the SRC president. And because of that, that's the reason why certain faculties or colleges, the system does not work very well there. And the case is vice versa at other faculties too. So I would want you to give us clarification on that, and also give us assurance that this time around all the constituencies or all the voting centers are going to experience a smooth election process.
Okay. The authorities do not have any say in our elections. If you work well, first, fine, you're going to be elected. The authorities do not have any say in our elections. And I'll show you, members of parliament, that we're going to have a credible and a free and fair election this year.
I have a question.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, please, a follow-up question. Okay. Regarding the Unity Hall and the University Hall issue, and the reasons why we don't have the SRC, if that's the case, then it means we shouldn't even have the hall elections in the hall. Or they shouldn't have their hall elections in their various halls, because it's likely they might destroy their laptops and other logistics too.
All right, I'll take that. I think I'll discuss that with my people. Since you don't want us to have hall elections,
Okay.
I'll take that very well.
Thank you. Honorable Raphael.
Much. The House. Honorable EC. I must say myself, and then I can see from the face of my colleagues that they are not happy with the answers that you are giving. Mr. Speaker himself is just laughing and then bowing his head, and he's amazed with the kind of answers you are giving. But just to touch on the things that honorable members are talking about, one, with the influence from the Dean of Students. Yeah. With the few that I've heard, I've listened to you, you've mentioned the Dean of Students twice in your statement, and then stating that first, he told you to pen the whole elections. Second, he's helping you. I don't believe your portfolio is a military portfolio where you obey before you complain.
Not at all.
You would have to, you're an independent commission, so you'd have to know the reasons why someone is even giving a suggestion before you carry it out. But if you should obey probably a directive even from the Vice Chancellor without knowing the reason, as an independent commissioner, I believe that you're not independent. Two, if you're saying that the Dean of Students, one way or the other, helps the EC, I'm amazed, because in which form of help is he helping the EC in the elections? And then help might be influence. And then that is what honorable members do not understand, because if I am helping you one way or the other, I'm influencing you. I might be influencing you. Thirdly, if I'm not wrong, at the SEC service that you are making mention of, it was stated by the Dean of Students that he's going to collaborate with the Electoral Commission to have a free and fair election from the Dean of Students. So if he's going to collaborate with the EC to have a free and fair election, then just as honorable members are scared, the authorities are involved or really interested in students' elections. I'll give you a clear example with your rules and regulations that you posted on our various notice board, where there's a clause that states that if any portfolio, nobody picks up a nomination form for any portfolio, the election will go on, and then the elected SRC executives, no, the Vice Chancellor, in consultation with the Dean of Students, JCRC elect executives and college elect executives would appoint someone to fill that position. I find it strange for the Vice Chancellor and the Dean of Students to have a reason or to have an interest to appoint someone to fill a vacant student position. I believe that if on nothing at all, the Parliamentary Council elect should be the one to appoint whichever portfolio that is filled. So based on these things, Honorable EC, I can rightly say and beat my chest that the university authorities are having influence in this election. That is for you.
Honorable, then I'm sure you didn't need an answer then, since you are concluding.
I'm just making him aware of that. That's my argument, right, Honorable?
Before the last point you made, is it a rumor or you are talking?
Right, Honorable, it is not.
You said the Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students were going to appoint.
Right,
you are hearing something?
it is stated in his rules and regulations, which he has posted on notice board, which Honorable Nobu made mention of even before the sitting proceeded, right here in this house. So it is on record. So based on this, that's what I have to say.
Okay.
And I have the second one, if you would allow me.
Please, when we give you opportunity to speak that way, I want you to appreciate it when time is fast spent, and I'll have to stop some people from talking for us to go through. I get what I'm talking about. When I give you guys opportunity this way to express yourself, I think it's in order. When it is about sometimes 6 getting to 7, and we just have to, go, and some people at the end of the day too will not be happy. I wouldn't want that to be in the known before we proceed to exhaust everything. Okay.
So
His Excellency David Dana is in, and so we would go out and as usual come properly. Okay. So we'll go and recess and as usual come properly. But I want us to get the EC off before we can.
Can I ask my second so you know?
So you ask your last question.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, Honorable, with also answers given to reasons why we are not voting in the halls. Last year, if I clearly recall, it was stated that we are not going to vote for the SRC elections in the hall because of Wi-Fi problems, because of network. And then it was clearly even stated in a news article, in a newspaper article. It was stated, there was an article about that election or that reason. And so I find it strange if, for National, you are not even raising the same point as to why we are not going to vote. Just as my honorable member from Republic Court said, that if you are mimicking what is done at the national level, it's necessary that we vote at the various halls to elect a general leader, because that particular hall too is also a constituency. And then if, as a member of parliament, I've been voted in that constituency, and then my members cannot elect the general leader from that same constituency, then it means that I shouldn't even be recognized in parliament. So I want you to also clarify that properly. Thank you very much.
All right. So with the portfolio being vacant and the vice chancellor and the SRC executives electing, appointing someone. I think it's in the constitution. It's clearly stated in the constitution, the KNUST SRC constitution.
Mr. Issa, are you done addressing the concern?
No, sir, I'm not done. As I said, it's clearly stated in the constitution. You can take a look at it when you get back to your hostel. Thank you very much. Between no voting in the hall, I think then if you are considering we voting in the hall, and I think there are so many hostels around, we need to vote in the hostels. Like hostels which are notable, like which are accredited by the schools. And I think we should set up there and we should vote in the hostels as well, because we have students there. To be fair on everybody's side, we are voting in the colleges, the faculties, and the departments. Thank you very much.
Honorable Jonathan.
Mr. Speaker, I'm really surprised how Mr. AC is trying to explain some things to us. I don't know whether he really understands what he's doing. I'm quite surprised. He's telling us notable hostels should be allowed to also vote there. They are not constituencies. In fact, even in our national elections, we don't vote, let's say, because this place is big. We vote based on constituencies and places approved to be polling stations. So please, Mr. EC, we are begging you that you do your checks very well before you come in and mislead us. Thank you very much.
IDRC and BOMSO are constituency. We can then I think we should set up there and vote. But then to prevent we damaging logistics, we are not voting in those places. We are not voting in the hall.
I think that I will have to you made a side comment that you have secretaries. I think constituencies are not created based on the fact that you have secretaries and vice president and all that. So we can meet another point. I'm not defending the EC, but constituencies are not created based on the fact that you have secretaries. If that was the case, then it means that the the co-team you are saying campus MPs are not supposed to be here. Going by what you are saying, because they don't have secretaries. You don't have vice presidents. But they are also MPs and they are here, and they have constituencies. And he is saying that going by allowing votes to happen in non-residential, constituencies, then it means that we will have to also set up some 2 or 3 voting centers at Bomso, Kote, and Ejase. Going by that logic, I think that's what he's trying to establish. Okay. Yes. Honorable Prof. Oh, Prof, you can sit down. Or you like to stand?
Oh, I would prefer to stand.
Okay,
Mr. Speaker, the House. Mr. Speaker, may you live long. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to talk for a longer time, so please you permit me. In fact, Mr. Isi, allow me to call you so. You appear to have disappointed me in a way based on your submission. Because anytime I see you to appear more responsible, excuse me to use that word. I doubt even if you are independent, 1. 2, I don't know if you were able to conduct a survey to find out why continuing students don't take part in voting. Majority of the continuing students. I know you said you witnessed in first year you came to Conti, but when you follow the pattern of our voting on campus, you realize it's mostly majority is the first years that vote. I don't know if you find out why continuing students mostly don't vote. I think that is something you have to do. When somebody asks you, there have to be polling stations at constituency level. You ask if notable hostels, we can put some polling stations there. Find out for yourself. In fact, you made a comment concerning my people, that is my very good people of Unity Hall, my strong men, that's the way they behave. In fact, the way you describe us, in fact, I was very, very much shocked at what you said. And then based on your experience in first year, which I believe you don't know much as first year, you are basing your experience on that to say the way our boys behave. I thought you would have said, oh, after first year, second year I was there. Then I realized that these were the pattern. But if you say the way the boys behave, I don't know which way. First year, honorable members, first year, I don't know how well you are experienced with elections that you say my boys, I don't know, because I was there myself. Nobody beat anybody up. No laptop was destroyed. Now, I don't know if you are speaking based on any report, but then you can make that available to us as a house so that we can also study and also advise ourselves as far as this house is concerned, as well as our constituency. My people have already touched on most of the things, but then you made me doubt if this year's election is going to be credible. I would like you to know that we would like to have our police stations in our various constituency. Even if you have to go to Aiduase or Bomso and set up a place there, you should do. It should be your time that you are clocking over 2,000 people voting. Then that should be something you should leave behind, that somebody should speak about. And you know what I'm talking about when it comes to voting on KNUST campus, majority is the first years. Continuously they don't want to come. Even when you bring your buses, those who love you will come down. It's because they don't have police stations around their constituency. I believe SRC, you can do that. If you said you are having a help from the Dean of Student Office, then they should be able to support you to make sure we get police stations at this very constituency to have majority of the people having their say as far as elections are concerned. I won't like to go far, but then I would like you to know that I'm not trusting you for this year election to be fair.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I think there's no concern for EC to address. It's just an advice for you. And okay. Thank you very much. Honorable Hilary.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Thank you very much, the House. Mr. EC, I didn't quite get you on the non-way election, so if you can kindly touch on that once more. And I would like to know why there's a wide gap between the college and departmental elections and then the SRC elections. Okay, yeah, in terms of dates.
All right.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
With the non-residential election,
You can address that.
with the non-residential election, like I said, over the years, students have to change from their portal, their constituency, from, let's say, from campus to its new place of residence. But then, what we're trying to do this year is that immediately you are being verified. On the screen, it appears, let's say, campus, Bomso, Kenton, Krono, Kote, Ayeduase. So, I'm in Ayeduase, or yes, I'm in Ayeduase. I want to vote for someone in Ayeduase. I just click on Ayeduase. I vote for the person, and the system shuts down. You can't go back and reselect another constituency and vote for the person. I don't know whether he gets me now.
Then I think she raised second issue. So you address that.
With the second issue.
So you are saying that's what you're trying to do. I want to know if it's been successful, whether the measures have been put in place, and that's what is going to happen.
Yes, please, the measures have been put in place.
Okay.
All right.
So with the college elections, the college election starts from 26th February to 2nd March. After that week, we plan on having the hall elections. That's from 5th to 9th. Then from the previous calendar, we're going to have midterm starting from 12th to 16th March. Then after that week, we're going to have the midterm break.
That's going to start on 19th to 23rd. 19th to 23rd. Okay, so from 23rd to from 23rd to 30th, we're going to have the ISA election, the non-residential election, then the GRASAC election. The GRASAC election was supposed to be on 30th March to 31st March, but then 30th is a Good Friday, and then 31st is Easter. We can't have those elections there, so we shifted the GRASAC election to from 6th to 7th April. Then on that day, we're going to have the SRC public screening and vetting. Then we give them 12 days. Within that 12 days, you're going to have debate, presidential debate, manifesto reading. Then on the 19th, we're going to have the SRC elections. I think that's good.
Wait. Your mic is also, you are exhausted now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Daisy, I just want to touch on just one thing. That is, you giving the discretion to the various ECs in the halls to make the minimum price for the forms. I believe if you can maybe do something about that, because I don't want to say by it will, that kind of power given to them, they will end up trying to, raise the price of the forms in kind of percentage that will not favor the candidates. Because I've experienced some before, and I don't want that to happen particularly in my constituency. So if you can give some kind of limitation to them.
Limitation?
Yes, please. With respect to the amount of the form, to the minimum level that the person could pay. Nor did themselves take that discretion to do that. I guess it is.
Yeah, and EC, adding up to that, I personally feel that giving a cap for, let's say, 200 Ghana cedis to 300 Ghana cedis that you can charge in between. Personally, I don't think it should be a uniform price. If every college is going by 300 cedis for president, it must be 300 Ghana cedis. If every college is going by 250 for president, it must be 250. Not that College of Humanities is charging 250 for president. JSA is taking 300. Kanasa is taking 350. Personally, I think that it wouldn't work well.
In my submission, I said all the colleges and the halls are taking 300 cedis. All the colleges and the halls are taking maximum of 300 cedis. The faculties are taking maximum of 200 cedis, and the departments are taking maximum of 100 cedis.
Yeah. What actually happened in my time was that the president was, I think, 250, and then the vice was to pay, I think, 200. Then the rest were given 90, 90, 90. But afterwards, we the president were called back again to pay an amount of money again. So I don't want that to happen, especially in my constituency as I speak. So if there should be some kind of a uniform price for them, then the president, you are paying 100 cedis for a form, and then maybe the executive committee, you are paying 100 cedis for your forms, and as it comes down, this is your limited price that you can pay. So that we don't get to hear that the EC has called those going for the president to come back and then pay an amount of money again.
Okay.
So there should be kind of a unism at that particular point.
All right. With I spoke to them with the president of the colleges and the halls. They are paying 300 cedis. That's the maximum. They are paying 300 cedis. But for other portfolios, I give them their free will to do that. But the minimum should be 200 cedis. That's for the colleges and the halls. You get me?
Okay.
I think you have enough powers to do that.
Yeah.
They are raising some of these concerns because of the different figures people are giving and the concerns candidates are raising. But I think that if you are properly, situated, then all these things will not come. President, this amount. Vice President, this amount. Secretary, this amount. All others, this. So that you don't even give them room to decide whether it should be maximum. When you say maximum, it means the person should not exceed that, but can charge within. Are you getting that? And that differences call for a lot of. I think you can have a look at that.
All right. I'll take a
Last
critical
one.
look at that.
Honorable Elon.
The Speaker of the House. Okay, with regards to elections in engineering, for the past 3 years, I believe you notice that engineering, when it comes to SRC elections, we don't vote, basically in the college, because when the machines will come, all right, but the system will shut down the entire day. It has happened for 3 consecutive years since I stepped foot in engineering. Now, we are hoping that this year will not experience that again, because we want our students also vote in engineering massively. And when it comes to power source, please bring an available power source to engineering during the SRC elections. We don't necessarily tell us that because there's power outage, we can't vote. We are hoping that this year you change things. Now, when it comes to the breakdown of election results, I think most people have raised that issue a lot. I just want to bring it to your notice. I think when I came in first year, I was actually involved in BNI's election, so I know how. I think that year we had a breakdown of results to say, okay, when you go to Queen's Hall, parallel people voted, this number voted for this person. I didn't see that last year. What are you going to do about it? Because I think it is only fair that we make people see the results as per the constituency they voted in. You get it? So those little things, those let me say anomalies, I don't know, you should work it out as easy. And when it also comes, I think you would reply to the second question as to how you make sure that this thing happens, that there will be breakdown of results for every particular constituency. And sorry. Yes. Then when it comes to when it comes to non-rec elections, you mentioned that you're going to put a system in place. But we know that when you come and you are registering, you are asked to choose the particular constituency you are in. I think when you are registering for the semester, when you open your portal, you are asked to choose. So you update your information. Now, people update to probably the place they want to be. Is it that they are going to limit students not to vote in a particular constituency because they have chosen another constituency in their online registration, or because they didn't even do it? What steps are you taking to make sure that people who are living in Ayeduase, okay, will vote in Ayeduase? Is there going to be any sensitization, any message that go online, change your location to, let's say, Ayeduase? Because some people came in first year and their system is still report or unity because they are not changing. What are you also going to do about that one too? Thank you very much.
I'll take the last question first. Like I said, we're not going to tell students to change, but the new measure you are putting in place is to on the system is when you are when you verify, when you are done verification, when you are done on the screen, you're going to have Ayeduase, campus, Kote, Kenton Chrono, and the rest. When I'm in Ayeduase and I want to vote for Ayeduase, I just click on Ayeduase and I vote for the Ayeduase candidate. When I'm done, the system shut down. You can't go back and go and select Kote or Bomso. With the breakdown, in my list submission, I said this time we're going to project all results at every polling station. That's what we're going to do. And with engineering students not voting, I think for the past 3 years that you're saying, I've been a witness to engineering students voting at the colleges, and I've never seen any problem like power or engineering students not voting. I've never seen, except last year that the system broke down. It was a universal problem. That was last year. And with the power supply, I think we're going to do that this year.
You are saying that you have been a witness there. I can assure you that the secretary is here, and we represent the constituency.
I'm a student also.
Yes, and as we are representing, we are saying that for the even last 2 years, I think last 2 years, we voted in the lawns, getting to the Banfo Kwachi building, and you would notice that we couldn't vote until a later part of the day, because I was there throughout that day. In first year, I was there throughout that day too. We couldn't vote until some other time. So we are saying that elections in engineering, when it comes to SRC elections, there's always a problem in engineering. If there's no problem during GSA elections, then there's not supposed to be a problem during the SRC elections. For that matter, we are asking that you look at it carefully, and this year, make sure that there's nothing like that happening again. Thank you very much, Mr. IC.
Well noted.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I greet you all. Mr. EC, God bless you for your good work so far. And please, why is the next elections not on the timetable?
Honorable, exhaust all your questions for him to answer, please. But if that's the only one, you can't.
Okay,
Is that the only one? So you give all of them.
Okay, and secondly, I wanted to know whether with the non-residential elections, whether there will be polling stations at the various non-residential areas. And I would suggest also that if you can do something about it, because most of the times, most of the students don't even know where they are supposed to vote during non-residential elections. For instance, last year's own, some people didn't know where some of the centers were because for bomb. So we had our own place at the UITS place at commercial area. And I think IDRC too had their own at engineering gate. Though you can vote anywhere, but it wasn't at all places. So if you can do something about it, thank you.
The NUC selection not being on the title, I think over the years we vote for NUC president and the executives after a new Speaker of Parliament have been sworn. Yeah. So I think after that we're going to have the NUC election. Then with the non-residential election, if I get your question very right, I think you're talking about we creating polling stations outside campus or at the constituencies to vote. It's well noted, and I don't think it's going to be possible, but then I'll try my best, but I can do that.
Thank you. Honorable.
Yeah, Honorable EC, from what you said about the elections, I think first years are also going to vote, right? First years are going to vote for elections. Okay. And then also...
First years are not voting for the
But first years will be verified. First years will be verified.
The system will be...
please. Yes, when you are done with your concerns, allow him to address, okay?
Okay. I'm not done.
So you get everything.
Yeah, and
done,
also about what
so
Honorable
please note them. Okay.
Honorable Elom said, I think I share in his plight. So it's good that you do something about engineering as a polling station for SRC elections. And also for non-re-elections, I think you should have the polling stations in the various constituencies. You shouldn't tell us that it will not be possible. You should work on it. And from the whole dean issue and your issue, you are here for the students. So you don't expect, you are supposed to stand in for us, not to share in whatever the dean says. So when the dean says that we shouldn't have elections outside campus, you are not supposed to say, oh, okay, we shouldn't have elections off campus. That's what you have said, and that's what we are going to do. you have to give him reasons why you think we should have no-re elections off campus. Because you realize that the aspirants, they have campaigns off campus. They go to the hostels to campaign. And when it's time for elections, they'll have to come down to the college level to come and vote. But they have to campaign all around in the hostels, thinking it will be easy to get them to vote because it's off campus. And it's not cool if they'll have to come to campus to come and vote. Meanwhile, it's an on-rare elections. It's like having KNUST SRC elections in Legon. It's not cool. So please work on it for us. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think the only question was the engineering being a polling station. The second one was a suggestion, right? All right. With the engineering, I'm an engineering student, and I know how the system runs in engineering, in College of Engineering. I've never seen we having problem with our elections. I've never seen we having problems with our elections. With what Honorable Elon was saying, we had a laptop set up in a lawn for us to vote, and there was a problem, we couldn't vote. I think the only polling station in engineering is it's in front of the Kumapli Auditorium.
No.
That's the only place we have. That's the only place we vote.
No.
If we can create a new polling station at engineering, but where?
But we vote, I think, behind the library. We vote behind the library.
Behind the library is alone, I understand. But then it's a place where lovers' bench are structured there, and we can't have elections there.
When I was in first year,
yes,
in first year or second year, Amakwa in Christ time,
yes,
when he was running, that was where we voted.
But then lovers' bench weren't there.
Okay. But there's still a lawn there, so it's possible we can have a polling station there. It's not like we can't. We just want to be sure that we have good computers running, and we have the elections running smoothly before the day ends, without breakages.
For good computers, I assure you we're going to have good computers, very good excellent computers to run our elections.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Hannah, Asante.
Okay, thank you. For the past 3 years we've been here, there is always power outages during election from department to SRC, everywhere. You have not told us that this year there wouldn't be a power outage. I'm going to believe that there will be. But I'm only asking what you will do about that, because for you to be a candidate and then for 2 hours and over, there's no election, I mean, people cannot vote. It's really disheartening. I've been a candidate before, so I know how candidates go through when they are running an election. And with a non-residential election, you say that if you verify, the constituencies will be there so that you choose. It means that me being a campus resident, if I think I don't know the campus candidate or I don't like him, I can decide to vote for Ayediasi or Kenton Kwan, even though I'm not a resident there. That is what you are trying to tell us, right? That's what it means. So I don't think that would be a fair representation of whoever will win, because if anybody at all can choose, just because I have the opportunity to choose which constituency I want to vote, I don't think it would give us a fair representation of the people who would win. And the laptop that we use for elections, you said you are an independent body, and we know from the SRC constitution you are. Have you ever considered purchasing laptops solely for elections? Because every year we have to borrow or hire laptops for elections, and those laptops cost high. So have you considered ever purchasing laptops just for the sole purpose of running elections? And if you've never thought of it, I think you should do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With the last question, I've thought of it. With the second question, about you talking about the non-residential. It's the same as me being on campus, and I change my location to, let's say, Ayediase. But then I can still vote for Ayediase person, but I'm still on campus. And with the first question, you talking about power supply, I think, not that I think, we've made provisions for that. Thank you very much.
Honorable members,
Speaker, follow up.
Honorable Hannah Santo.
Thank you. You said with the purchase of a laptop, you've thought about it.
Yes.
That was the only answer you could give to the question.
We've thought about we purchasing laptops for only elections, but then Ghana, we do not have, in general, you can all bear witness, we do not have good maintenance culture. After election and we leave these laptops in a room and we are not using it, there are going to be dust entering the laptops and it's going to destroy the laptops. But we are putting in measures to prevent all these things. So you don't worry. Very
so
soon,
what are
probably
those
you
measures?
becoming an alumni, you come back to the school and see a laptop with a tag at the back, KNUST or Electoral Commission's property.
Those laptops there, dust will not enter them, they won't spoil.
He said,
those laptops there, they won't be.
That's what I'm saying. By that time, we've put in measures.
Like?
Measures.
What kind of measures are we talking about here?
That's what I'm saying. By that time, you will come.
So it means this time you've not thought about those measures. It means that this time you've not thought about those measures.
I've thought of it.
So why can't you share with us?
No, I can't share it. I'm independent, but I can't do that.
It means you've just not thought about it.
Honorable Hannah Sandy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the absence of, but please, the affirmative action now act has been projected on the screens. I'll ask that they roll them so that they can be reading them on all the screens. Would the marshal go and make sure that is done? Clerk. In the absence of any other thing, we would like to allow our EC rest. Then we'll go on recess, and come with Mr. President. Yes, let me take your concern, Honorable Hilary.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Thank
Oh,
you very
like,
much.
where were you present?
You're very pleased you praised.
Okay.
Anyway, please, Mr. EC, I would like to know, I also agree, I concede with Honorable Hannah Santi on her issue of being able to choose any constituency when voting the non-reg elections. And then as well, I also agree with you on your submission where if you want to change your constituency, you can immediately change to any constituency of your choice, even if you're not in that constituency. In that case, all we are fighting for is a fair representation, the right people voting, the right people in the constituency voting for the people in the constituency. So what measures, what we want is a solution to that. And we want to know what measures exactly can be placed to get rid of being able to choose a constituency you'd like to vote for. To vote, I mean, say you're in Hall 7 and you want to vote for somebody in Ayedjase, and so you change your constituency to Ayedjase. Is there a way, we want to find out if there's a solution we can get to eradicating that completely. So in this case, harness cannot be made possible, neither can yours. So we're asking for a solution where that can be completely eradicated. You in the particular constituency vote for the MP in your constituency. Please, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. But the system can't identify you being a resident of Ayedjase or campus. The system can't do that, except you changing it on your student portal. That's how come the system can identify that you are a resident of Ayedjase or campus or let's say other constituency. The system can't do that. And I don't know, and I don't think the UITS can have any way of knowing that these students are from Ayedjase or campus. I don't think the UITS can do that.
there are some few concerns here. Honorable David Elkem, right? He wants to know. Uh, I'm reading. I wanted to know if the following are still in place when it comes to the elections. One, processing fees. Two, file nomination fees, aside the form fees. And I also pray that the EC do more education to the various ECs, both in the hall and colleges, and my extension department. Thank you. So can you address that, please?
Apart from the nomination fee that we take, there's nothing like filing fee. Probably filing fee, there's nothing like filing nomination fee. Apart from, I think the filing of nomination fee is the same as the fee we take for you, you purchasing the booklet or something. There's nothing like processing fee too.
Thank you very much. Electoral Commissioner, a follow-up question, that in 2 seconds.
You see, what normally happens in my country is that we normally pay a fee for processing fee, then file nomination before we even pay the forms money.
Then he said there's
so that's,
nothing
that's
like that.
So I want
like
I
that,
want a
isn't
system
it?
whereby that particular thing is being eradicated from the system.
That's why he said there's nothing like that. Nothing like that will happen.
There is nothing like that.
So I also pray that there's more education on that with respect to the ACs in the various colleges.
And I think another thing we're trying to do this year is we're going to make the EHC center as a polling station. Whereby when students, when there is election and let's say college election and I do not have a class, I can just hop into any of the shuttles. I get to the EHC building, I vote, I hop into a shuttle again, then I go back to my hostel or hall. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Electoral Commissioner. At this stage, you can't.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
We would go on recess. Thank you.